Hey guys, it's Kristen, co-founder of Service Crowd. We help digital and marketing agency owners get up out of the weeds so that they can feel like they're running their business and not like their business is running them. This week in agency management, I want to talk about the thing that keeps you up at night, the thing that keeps us all up at night, the thing that you've had a small or maybe large panic attack about, the thing that is probably the cause of some of the worst phone calls you have ever sat on in your agency career, and that is what to do once you've made a mistake on client work. A mistake large enough for the client to notice and be mad about it. It happens. It's going to happen. No matter how good your team is, no matter how good your processes are, it's going to happen. Every agency screws up at some point at multiple points. You should ensure that that's not happening a ton, but it's always going to happen. The key to surviving that in terms of keeping the client relationship intact and moving forward and maybe even gaining a few trust points in the process is owning and resolving the issue that caused the mistake in a way that is transparent, forthcoming, and true. And so let's talk about how to do that. The first step after the mistake happens is, as an agency, you're going to own it and apologize. This is not a situation where you have to get defensive. And so you want to make sure that the person on point to do the apology is somebody that is good at saying, yes, that was our fault. We are sorry. We are looking into why that happened, and we will report back as soon as possible. You do not want the client to let a delivery staff member who's particularly defensive or whatever know that a mistake was made, and for that person to be like, well, it's your fault because you didn't give us all the information, right? So just make sure there's a clear expectation set with your delivery staff. Hey, if something happens, this is our escalation path and this is the process that we run through. If the client brings a mistake to our attention, run it through this process before you say anything. We'll handle it really quickly and we'll get back to the client as soon as possible, but we're going to use this language and this is the process. That process should include the outcome for step two, which is what was the root cause of the mistake? So let's say a campaign went out with false information, like just incorrect information. What was the root cause of that? Was it that the client actually gave us bad information, in which case things weren't double checked by them? Is that their fault? Maybe, but you're still on the hook for making sure that things are, double, triple checked before they go out, right? Or was it that we didn't ask the question? What was the actual root cause of that incorrect information going into that campaign? Your process for escalation should include identifying the root cause. That way, you can move on to step three, which is sharing a fix, right? That fix is not, hey, you have to give us more information next time. That fix is, we need to ask for more information next time. This turns that super painful moment of realizing that your agency has screwed up somewhere into a proof point that you are able to handle these difficult moments and difficult conversations. Um, in this moment where the client has lost trust in your ability to do the work that they hired you for, you can't spin it. You just got to own it. You have to explain why it happened. You have to share a fix, and you have to show them transparently that you are implementing the fix. So if a campaign brief should have had a question in it and didn't, you're now going to show them, we've added this question to the campaign brief. We're going to ask you to answer it every time. Even if it was their fault that they didn't include information, you can provide a fix for making sure that that doesn't happen again, right? That's a very transparent, very client-friendly way to do root cause and sharing the fix. And the final step is you're not going to dwell on it. Once it's been owned, the root cause has been shared transparently and clearly, and you've put a fix into place, you're just going to take a deep breath. You're not going to ask the client, how are things going all the time? You should check in with them at, one of your next CSAT check-ins or whatever cadence you check in with clients. You should come back to them and say, hey, did that fix make you feel like we had handled the situation properly? But you're not going to dwell on it. So that is more of a sort of confidence position than it is an actual action item. It's more that your team all has to take a deep breath and say, okay, we know what happened, we know how to fix it, and we're not going to screw it up again. And that confident posture has to be reflected to the client. This is less a thing you do and more a thing you project, right? Recovering with authority is how you build even more trust with this client, so that, you're building trust, a mistake happens, trust goes down, you can actually build trust up higher to where it was before if you're able to confidently move on and ensure that that doesn't happen again. For all of that to work, you have to truly ensure that it doesn't happen again. But in short, apologize, explain why it happened, fix it, lead. Every mistake is an opportunity to prove that your agency is the kind of partner who stays calm, accountable, and in control, even when things go sideways. And making sure that you have a process for escalations that covers all of that is going to put you in a much better position with your clients when inevitably a mistake happens, which it will. Hope that helps. Thanks so much.